Hello, everybody. Welcome here inside the Den, Fox 5, Sound Off Sports. Mike Davis here with you. I am so excited to have a media mate. This person does a little bit of everything. It's actually hard for me to even do an introduction. A college athlete, played tennis. She plays piano. She says she can't sing. I think she can sing. She's a media maven. She's worked with all different types of people when it comes to sports branding, all these different types of deals. We're talking Travis Kelce, so many different guys, NBA players, DeAnthony Melton, I saw so many different types of people. And now Alexis Robinson is here joining us here in the Den for Sound Off Sports. Alexis, it's great to finally make this happen.
Yes.
With you. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You have such a fascinating story. Las Vegas, born and raised girl.
Yes.
Henderson girl. You played tennis. You played a little bit of everything, basketball. You were even the president of a German club, and you don't speak German. So you're just one of these people, you can do everything.
I try, at least. So, yeah. But, I mean, why not? I think that's the cool thing about being from Las Vegas is we're a melting pot of everything. So I was just taken to trying anything and everything.
Okay, and we're going to learn all about your career, everything that you're doing here in Las Vegas. Of course, you're now with BDG Sports. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think a lot of people are familiar with, of course, when Duke and Gonzaga come here for showdowns, all these different events you guys put on throughout the country. What are you doing with them full time right now?
Yes, so I do everything on the marketing and branding side. I started doing social media and PR with them for games like Duke Gonzaga when it came here and stuff. And 8+ years later, they just decided, you know what, you just need to come on full time. And they took my client roster and my projects with me. So that's been the best part. So they get to help me with my NBA and WNBA projects. And then I get to help them with big games like, we have a bunch of games in the Bahamas this year. We're going to Nashville. We have Arkansas, in Dallas that we're,
Wow.
yeah. So we have a lot of stuff on the agenda. We have some stuff coming up here too. We are coming back to throw some big events. And yeah, I mean, I just really lucked out with a company that they're all sports lovers like me, and we get to just make really cool things happen.
And of course, you've traveled all across the country for your career, for school. You played tennis at Utah Tech. You spent a lot of time at Oklahoma. But now it's cool because as a born and raised Las Vegan, you get to see how sports has grown in this city, and you're really playing a big part in it. Not only just developing Aces fantasy camps, the pickleball slam we saw with Steffi and Andre Agassi that just happened at Mandalay Bay. All these things are something you're a part of. You're bringing to the community that you grew up in. Can you tell us? Because for me, I've been here 6 years. I'm not really, I'm a baby. I'm an infant when it comes to sports in Las Vegas. Tell us what it was like as a sports fan growing up. Your dad played professional basketball. Your uncle, John Lucas, professional tennis and basketball player, University of Maryland guy. So, what has it felt like to see the way that Vegas has finally just kind of teamed up with sports? It's changed and transformed our community.
It really has. I get so excited about it because being an athlete, Gorman has always been there. There was Finley Prep when I was growing up and stuff, but we didn't take sports as seriously as I probably would have had I grown up anywhere else. I think that's why I tried every sport and was just doing anything. And all of my friends, they're all very successful people that I grew up with, but not too many of us were athletes besides, at least to the level that I'm used to now, like Bryce, obviously, still doing very good things in baseball, but we didn't have a lot of that. I would have to spend the summers in Houston or in the Bay and be around athletes like I am now. I didn't have that option growing up.
Right.
So I always say the best thing that ever happened to me was me going to Norman, Oklahoma, because it was just nice to be engulfed in sports and the culture and all the athletes. We were all friends with each other. To this day, Buddy Hield and I, that's my guy. I'll never not love Buddy and like Baker. We went to the Final Four in football and basketball that year in 2016 with those two. So like Oklahoma was the best experience, and then to be able to come back and enrich those experience, amplify them even more, because we finally have sports teams and athletes make this their homes now, and we, everything is just here. I feel like we're going to have an NBA team soon. I know that's next. It's nice to see what UNLV is doing with both football and basketball, because it was cool when I was growing up here. Saturday nights, if you weren't watching the Running Rebels, like, you weren't doing anything. It was a cool thing to do. So I'm hoping that that's what it becomes again with this new staff. And as far as the football team is going, I had been working with Kyle Pitts of the Falcons at an event last year, and he mentioned that his former coach at Florida was going to be our new coach, and that it was something that UNLV should be excited about, because Dan is a really good coach. And
wow.
So I'm excited for hopefully our college programs to really turn around and experience that joy that I got to feel at Oklahoma, because I'm very, very passionate about Oklahoma sports, and it's because we were good when I was there.
So you played tennis at Utah Tech, but then you transferred to Oklahoma?
Yes, and that was before all the rules of college sports were still applied, so I couldn't finish out playing tennis there.
Gotcha. But you're just you were a student athlete at Utah Tech, and then you became a student, and then you're at Oklahoma, you become a Sooners fan. But tell us, I mean, maybe I'm just, the world doesn't open up to me like the way it does for you. It's like you're like Moses, the sea just parts, like explain to me, like, how do you befriend Buddy Hield? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that, because maybe that's like a weird question, but how does that just happen?
So even though I couldn't, by the time I had gotten to Oklahoma, because I had taken a break after Utah to go try and play professional tennis, it did not work.
Gotcha.
I can, admit
so
that.
You actually went out and tried.
Yeah. So that's why I couldn't even attempt to try and play at Oklahoma.
You lost your amateur status. Yeah.
But I was practicing. Andy Roddick's brother, John Roddick, was the coach. I think I'm assuming he still is.
Oh, wow. So he was the head coach of Oklahoma. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I practiced a lot of the kids who were on the team. They needed...
hitting part.
Yeah. So I basically was an athlete there, and they all hung out together. Like, it was just...
Wow.
Kenny Stills and I are still friends. My cousin, John Lucas III, big time at Oklahoma State. So it was just an hour drive up to Stillwater. And that's when I got close to Marcus Smart, Markel Brown. We were all just cool because at that school, my cousin, he made that final shot that got him to the Final Four. So, he was a legend out there. So it was easy for me to be cool in Stillwater. And it was just kind of...
So it just kind of starts as friendships and all this stuff. And then how do you start becoming this, I mean, look, what do we even got here on the table? You're constantly branding. I mean, she can't even take a minute off, ladies and gentlemen. She's got to be branding and pushing. What do we got here on the table right now?
This is Lemon Perfect.
Okay.
It is an organic lemon water. And same thing. It was started by Yanni Hufnagel, who used to be a college basketball coach, and the last stop that I had gotten close to him when he was coaching at Nevada, and he was coaching with Dave Rice. So again, that was just kind of like the Vegas connection of me being close with Grant and Dave Rice from here. And they would come to the Gorman tournaments that we would throw, that I was a part of. I would do marketing and social for any of the tournaments at Gorman. So we became close. And one day he told me he didn't want to coach anymore, and he had this dream, and he had me try it. He was still carrying it in a cooler because he didn't know how to keep it cold yet. But he finally figured it out, and he has turned it into this huge company where he just got an investment from Beyonce and a ton of others. And it's been cool to see his success. But again, it started with sports. Like, that's how he got a lot of. D'Anthony is one of his investors as well.
Gotcha.
I had connected them. It was just the same thing. Sports is, it's universal. So
Yeah, you're like a walking LinkedIn. You just walk around and you're making connections. It's like you're a social network. So
trying.
So tell us how this works. How do you see, I'm curious how you see the world as a marketing, branding kind of maven guru. How do you see the world? Explain to us how you would maybe work with a Kyle Pitts, or how you work with some of these guys and start creating things. Because I want to lead up into Travis Kelce as well and all the stuff you did with him. But kind of tell me how that begins. You meet people, you know Buddy from being a hitting partner at Oklahoma. You're hanging out with other athletes. You go travel. You go see Marcus Smart. You're meeting all these people. But then how does it get to the next point where you're actually creating opportunities for these guys off the court?
I think it comes with, I am always seeing things for the future. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but yeah. If something is good, like this is a perfect example. It was almost 8 years ago, I feel like, we sat down and he was like, try this, and now it's become this huge brand and company. I was even helping him with the PR for a little bit. And so I think it's just me always seeing something. I would love to work with Kyle because I think, especially in Atlanta, there's so much opportunity for him with the internet these days. He went to a big school. I don't like Florida, but, I hear they're decent at football. So I'll give him that. But yeah, usually it helps to have like when I started with Marcus Smart, we had left school at the same time. He was from Dallas. I had moved to Dallas after school.
Gotcha.
And I was hanging out, and a couple of the girls that I grew up with on the West Coast, we were all in this sort of start of the social media and marketing and branding era together. We were doing everything for free. We were just getting ourselves indoors. I still talk about, Taylor Rooks was one of the first. I actually interviewed her for something, and now
really,
yeah, now she's who she is. But one of my really good friends, she was able to do verifications for sports figures and athletes, and so that was kind of my in. Any athlete that I knew, if I saw that they weren't verified on social media, I was like, hey, I can help you with that part. And then once we get that part done, I can help you use that platform to make money by different endorsement deals or marketing deals or anything like that.
So you were just on the cutting edge of all the social media at that time. Taylor Rooks is one of the best. I mean, she's going to do some great stuff, I think, with the NBA now. But, Bleacher Report, she got her start, and now she's just doing so many amazing things with Amazon. So that is a really interesting thing. So, I mean, Marcus, if I remember, is always a big fan of this guy. He became pretty viral in college for something he probably didn't want to be viral for, right? Because he got into that tiff with the fan underneath the basket, and that was a big thing in his college career.
I mean, it started with the backflip on the Kansas court, which I guess I loved it as someone who
I like his intensity.
Who went to Oklahoma to see Kansas lose was awesome, so I didn't mind. But it just goes to show you how serious
Yeah.
sports are in
Right.
SEC, Big 12, like,
True.
which again, I think is the reason I've been able to have the career I have is because
Yeah.
I went
And
to
we don't know the situation. I mean, it's very likely could have been racially charged.
Yeah.
I would assume.
There's,
probably.
and that's why I don't go back.
Right.
You know, people ask, I love where I went to school.
Yeah.
I had the best times there, but I do not go back to Oklahoma. I think I've gone maybe twice
Really?
since 2015.
Wow. Okay. So then Travis Kelce. This is a guy who it's fascinating because him and his brother, Cincinnati Bearcats, you know, his brother, me being from the Philadelphia area, you know, Jason Kelce is a legend. Philadelphia Eagles legend. People love him. Perhaps one of the greatest centers of all time. Travis, one of the greatest tight ends of all time. But the funny thing you were mentioning before we even kicked off this interview is you kind of knew Travis before everybody knew Travis. Now, of course, Travis has become way more of a fixture, not even because of sport, but because of his connection, his relationship with Taylor Swift and all that stuff, his fiance. So that's a whole nother story. But you met this guy way before the New Heights podcast, way before Taylor Swift, way before he was even that all-pro tight end that was perpetually, you know, a top fantasy pick, one of those history makers.
I used to have to fight for people to pick him in fantasy. They were not believers.
So,
I still have this picture. My best friend and I went on a cruise. I think it was 2017. And it's me pointing at the fantasy. We just decided to join these guys on the cruise, their fantasy league. And I picked Travis, and everyone was like, that's a terrible mistake. And I'm like, you know, hey, not today, not tomorrow, but eventually.
We'll see what happens. So tell me the first time you met Travis Kelce.
I met Travis in 2015. So one of his best friends is Reggie King, who is a former college basketball player. So we have that connection. Anyone, if you're in, and his father is a part minority owner, something like that, of the Orlando Magic. So if you're in the basketball world in that capacity, all the kids, like I mentioned, Rocky and stuff, we all know each other in some, just magically.
Shout out to Rocky.
Yeah.
For giving her a shout out.
Yeah.
Rocky Theus, yeah.
So yeah, Reggie, same thing. We were leaving school at the same time. He's now a very big agent at CAA, a basketball agent. He's very good. So if anyone's looking for one. But yeah, same thing. He was like, oh, you do marketing for athletes? Well, my best friend, he's a football player. And, you know, he could use a little bit of help with, you know, whatever. If you have a deal for him or anything. And that best friend of his was Travis Kelce. And it was when Alex Smith was still throwing him the ball.
Wow.
So I think it was 2015 was probably his sophomore season, I think. So yeah, it really was before anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, I can get you a trading card deal. So literally had the company send him some trading cards. I was like, sign them all and let's get this check. And after we did that, he said, I'm starting my foundation, 87 and running. And so I helped put together the very first event for 87 and running in Cleveland.
Wow. Yeah, where he's from.
Yeah, where he's from. So it was cool. My Markel Brown, who I met in school, he was playing for the Cavs at the time. So I was like, I know I can get some Cavaliers to come out and make it look cool.
Wow.
And yeah, however many years later, Trav has not changed. Like, he is still a very cool guy. Even I, you know, with this new stardom, thought there would be some. No, he has not changed at all. I think it was, yeah, Super Bowl in Phoenix. I was helping doing PR for a restaurant that, again, Avery Johnson Jr., one of the basketball kids, is opening. And I said, if the Chiefs win, I'll ask Trav to show up. The Chiefs won, and Pat and Trav showed up. So that was a really big hit for us. When Trav found out that Super Bowl was going to be in Vegas, I helped Reggie and all those boys, all of his friends, his crew, with their house their Airbnb that they had stayed in. We did a quick little marketing deal before the Super Bowl. I was helping Trav. I was the only girl in the get ready house, so I got to let him know that the fit was right and haircut, and he was ready to go and win that Super Bowl again, and he did. And so, yeah, he's cool. Don't.
What do you think his, like, if you had to guess, or just kind of that special quality that just makes him, we know what he is on the field, but just that special quality that he's so he has such a personality and such just like an energy about him. What is it about him? Did you notice it from day one, and how would you describe it?
Yeah, for sure. I think because I didn't even know about, when I first got introduced to him, I didn't know anything about his career. I didn't know that it got cut short at Cincinnati, like things like that. So I think that was part of it, where he wasn't going to get any judgment from me. And he is just a cool guy. All of his friends, from his agent, manager, chef, anyone who is in his entourage, they're all guys he grew up with, guys from Cleveland, the Heights. He loves Cleveland. Like, that is one thing that he will rep forever. So I'm like that when it comes to Vegas. So I think there's just something cool about he hasn't let any of this get to his head. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so much exciting stuff, and your connections, your first, second degree, third connections are so crazy. Now we're actually going to do a special thing, because we know you can play the piano. So we're bringing in we're bringing in a piano. No, I'm joking. We're not going to bring in a piano.
I got a couple songs still.
I'm sure you can play a lot. All right, a few last things before we wrap this up. So Vegas, I want to know your prediction. You know sports, you know Vegas. What is your prediction for an NBA franchise in Vegas? What year?
In the next 5 years. I'm hoping it'll be 3. But it will definitely be in the next 5.
Really?
Yeah.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. We're excited for that. Will LeBron be a part of it, you think? Is that the... do we actually... Is there something Alexis can't say?
I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't be. Yeah.
Whoa. My producer James with the beautiful skin, who Alexis complimented earlier. That might be some big news, James, we got here. Okay. All right. Next question for you. I want to know, we ask this question a lot here on our Silver State Sports and Entertainment programming. Mount Rushmore. We do a Mount Rushmore a lot of times. 4 top athletes, Vegas sports figures that need to be on that Vegas sports Mount Rushmore. I want to know your opinion, because a lot of people are all over the place with this. I want to know what you think.
Well, number 1 is Andre Agassi. He is just like me when it comes to repping this city, and I think that matters a lot of it too. Of course, Bryce. Yeah,
Bryce Harper has to be over Greg Maddux, you think?
See, I'm not super familiar with baseball. I just know all the things that Bryce has accomplished.
And have you met Bryce?
Yeah, like we all...
You grew up kind of with him?
We all have this. His wife played soccer at the same school that I was playing tennis. Yeah, so he's from Henderson, basically.
Right. So when he was a kid, and he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was a kid, you remember that? In Vegas?
Yeah. But see, it wasn't as big of a deal as it should have been, because there's not that many athletes here. Okay. So I remember thinking like, this is a big deal, but
it wasn't like everybody was talking.
Yeah, like all of our friends, like we probably saw Bryce the day after, and
nobody asked.
Yeah. So
wow. Okay, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have Bryce, you have Andre, you got 2 more.
Who's from? Because I mean,
Or just, it doesn't have to be from Vegas, but just like repping Vegas. Like my
I
producer
say
James,
myself. I mean, I think I'm the best athlete I know.
are
So,
you really?
Yes,
Or I think you and I got to get on the tennis court.
I'm down.
I want to. What racket you play with?
I play with head.
Okay, same with
Yep.
me. I play with a head radical. That was my racket. I do play a little Babolat though too, but I like.
I used to be a Babolat until I actually did the head tennis activation at Indian Wells last year.
Wow.
And so the perks of that was I got some,
You got some
pen balls and a couple of head tennis rackets. And I was like, wow, I'm even better with this. So
see the confidence. The confidence. I don't even think we can continue with the Mount Rushmore after you name yourself on that.
I mean, I think just as far as like athletes, and like I said, repping Vegas. If I have 702 tattooed on me,
yeah, show that to the camera right there.
Like I am very obsessed with where I'm from.
Yeah.
So I feel like in this, and I bring it up in regards to anything that I do. The reason I am involved, I've done summer league, any big basketball event, football event, I try to be a part of in any capacity because I love this city so much. So that is why I feel like if it's a sports Mount Rushmore of people who rep specifically, then yeah.
It's you. Listen, her handle, what is it? Alexis from Vegas, right? That's even in the handle. She's not even putting the Robinson thing. That's not even important. I got to get from Vegas in there. Any last words?
And Tark.
Tark is, yeah, that's, producer James, we always say Tark's got to be number one on that baby. But we're going to definitely have to have you back in here, Alexis. We got to talk about all the exciting things you got going on as things keep coming out through the community, everything you're doing with BDG. But any last words? Any last things you want to tell us before you go? And, you're probably going to have about 2 or 3 marketing deals before you even leave this building. But tell us what you think. I
mean, just as someone from Vegas, I want to say go Aces. Playoffs are starting. We'll have started, so we'll hopefully get through round 1 tonight. I wish the Raiders were better.
It's early.
Yeah. I'm usually not in town for the Chiefs-Raiders game. I'm usually in the Bahamas, but I'll actually be here, and I'll be in Travis's section with Raider gear on. I don't care.
Wow.
So, yeah, I love Vegas and sports teams. I think Coach Passner putting, old Jayhawk and Anthony Marshall on the staff is awesome. That was the last time they were good. So Lon Kruger, Boomer Sooner, but he had a good run here too.
Lon was a good guy.
I want them to be good again. I really do, and I think they have a chance. So yeah, and go Gorman. Anything? I don't know.
A lot of good stuff. Listen, we love Lon Kruger. Of course, Kevin Kruger coaching at UNLV. Lon Kruger, we love him as well. He's been a part of this show in the past. Last question, though. Travis Kelce. We know Happy Gilmore. He just acted in Happy Gilmore, too. He had a pretty good display.
Great job, don't you think?
He did a great job. He's got a lot of optionality with the rest of his career, okay? He's looking good still on the field. He's got all the accolades when it comes to the NFL. He's got the superstar wife. He's got all these things happening right now. But where do you see him going? He's hosted game shows before. He's done a little bit of everything. Do you think the second part of his career, is he going to become an action hero in movies? Do you think it's going to be more of like an analyst and he'll become like a pregame kind of guy? Where do you think he's going to go?
I think he's going to do more movies. I actually, him and a couple of his boys from Cleveland and we've talked a movie idea with him. So, maybe we'll share that when right now it's football. Trav does not like that they lost that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that is 1000% his focus on before anything. But I think he should definitely do more movies. How he is on his podcast and his comedic personality, that's definitely him. So I don't know if he will like to talk football that he's not a part of. So I think, acting and just being, I mean, he hasn't relaxed in a very long time. So
Yeah.
I think
Some relaxation is
starting a family, all that stuff, I think is in the cards for him.
okay. All right. Well, listen. Her name is Alexis Robinson. Her social is Alexis from Vegas. You want to follow her, a must follow when it comes to sports, Vegas, everything at that intersection of media, culture, all the things happening in Vegas. Alexis, thank you so much for joining us in here. I'm happy we got you in the den, in the studio for Sound Off Sports. Yeah. Until next time, we have one of the members of the Mount Rushmore Vegas sports makers here in the present. In
my
the
mom is. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, and show that 702 one more time.
I know. I love.
Look at that. All right, I'm gonna go to the parlor and get that on my phone right now too. All right, thanks for being here, Alexis.
Thank you for having me.